Welcome everyone to This is 65. I am Erin Ackenheil and I am your host for today, and I own Blackpoint Insurance. We specialize in educating people on the A, B, C's, and D's of Medicare. We are a team of agents that are committed to making sure our clients make the best healthcare decisions now and in the future. At Blackpoint, many of our clients are approaching age 65 or older. And what we find is their stories are incredibly inspiring, whether they're launching a new business, pursuing their passion, or if they're in a situation. And basically what we find is that the clients we work with are very inspirational when it comes to launching a new business, pursuing their passion, providing advice from lives well lived. We're really excited to share their stories with you. So before we get started introducing our featured guest today, what I want to make sure that I do is talk to you a little bit about our Medicare Minute. Hot topic for today is the Medicare Minute. And today's Medicare Minute is brought to you by Blackpoint Insurance. Today we're going to talk about Medicare Part B premiums and IRMA reconsideration. So what's this all about? Medicare Part B premiums, surprising to some, is to find that Medicare is not free. When you join Medicare in 2021, Medicare Part B premiums for standard earners are $148.50 per member per month. But believe it or not, many Medicare beneficiaries are paying a whole lot more than that based on their income. It's something called IRMA, which stands for Income Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. Essentially what Medicare does is they take a look at your 2019 modified adjusted gross income to determine your premiums here in 2021. So if you are considered a high earner, you can be paying substantially more than $148.50 per month. One of the things that we see at Blackpoint is frequently people have a life change during that last couple of years. Maybe you've retired or potentially reduced your hours, something like this. And that's a great potentially qualifying reason for something called reconsideration. Essentially, it's a form you complete talking about what your life-changing event was. And if the qualifying reason puts you at a new income bracket for this year, your premiums can be reassessed at the new level, which is a big deal. It can literally put hundreds to thousands of dollars back in your pocketbook. If you think you might be a candidate for reconsideration, please contact me, Erin Ackenheil, or one of our team at blackpointinsurance.com. You can provide a note to us and we will send you the current 2021 premium information, as well as how these premiums are calculated, how those modified adjusted gross income is calculated for you. And if you think you're a great candidate for reconsideration, we can send you those forms as well. So really glad to be working with you, and please reach out to us. I think you'll be very glad you did. Without further delay, I'd like to introduce the woman of the hour, my friend and transitional specialist, owner of Mom's New Pad, doing amazing work out there, and obviously a wonderful human being. I'm so glad to have her join with us. Welcome, Millie Anderson. Welcome, Millie.
Thank you so much, Erin. That was a very nice, very sweet introduction.
So, okay. Millie, I really am so glad that you were able to join us today. I know you have such great information to share. So to start us off, of course, please tell us a lot about your business. We'd love to hear it.
Okay, so my business is called Mom's New Pad. And what I do is I usher older adults and their families through the process of leaving their home and entering a more social, safe, healthy, and rewarding environment. I walk them through the process of finding the new home with my expertise, a lot of efficiency, saving people a fair amount of time, and hopefully with some ease. This includes independent living, assisted living, or smaller one-story new house. The board and cares, I actually deal with all kinds of housing. And when it's assisted living or independent living, I can do this for free to the consumer, to the families, because those communities pay me a referral fee, which I think is a wonderful beauty, a wonderful gift to the seniors that I can do this for free.
Sure, that's amazing work, Millie. It's amazing that you're able to provide so much service without even charging fees oftentimes, and you're providing such amazing work. Tell me a little bit about your ideal client. What do they look like? How do you get referrals? How do people come to you?
Well, my ideal client would be a family with an elder, somebody most likely in their 80s or 90s. And this person is living at home, usually alone. Sometimes I work with couples. And by the way, my company is called Mom's New Pad, but I actually, of course, work with dads. And so this individual or couple are starting to need some assistance with their activities of daily living. The activities of daily living are things like walking, eating, bathing, grooming, transferring, toileting, and also medication management. So when somebody's having some difficulties and the family is starting to worry about them, are they taking their medications? Is mom lonesome? Who does she talk to all day? That the burden of the house is just getting her down. This is when they start looking for options. And sometimes people are healthy enough just to buy a smaller home that's one story, allowing our senior to live in their home many more years safely. So that's basically what I do. And like I said, it's free. It's extremely rewarding for me. And I'm hoping that my efficiency that I provide will offer a great deal of time consumption and save them money as well.
That's amazing, Millie. I love the story all the way around. I wonder, what was the catalyst for this business? What was your inspiration to get started?
Well, my inspiration was my own mother. So I was working on Wall Street and being a mortgage broker for 25 years. And after the mortgage meltdown of 2008 to 2010, I was a little tired of the mortgage business anyway and had been kind of looking, but after the mortgage meltdown, the business got so over-regulated and chaotic that I started to seriously look for a new career or line of work. And at that time, my mother was aging and becoming unsafe and lonesome in her own home. And we started thinking of other options. She started by moving to independent living in her town in the East Bay, which she really enjoyed. Later, as she started losing her memory and ability to drive, we helped her move into a very nice board and care in St. Helena near my brother. I had a close look at how people feel when they face the realities of moving. Along the way, in this process, I met people who operated independent and assisted living communities and visited several. That's when I knew that this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah. What an amazing calling, and so interesting that your mother brought you to that. I mean, growing up, did you ever think your mom would be the inspiration and the catalyst for your business?
Well, that's an interesting question. For many years, I never felt that. Though my mother was the most extraordinary 50s mom who loved her kids and husband to death, she didn't offer me much guidance about what to do with my life other than being a mom. This was a time of great social change in the world in the 60s and 70s. And suddenly I was seeing that I could be a doctor or a lawyer or an entrepreneur. It was a fantastic time, but confusing for both my mom and me. I was raised to be a mother. And suddenly I had all these opportunities and we didn't know quite what to do with it. So I forgive her, but I don't feel like she was a great guide for me. And then by the end of her life, she's the cause for me going to these senior living communities. And she just guided me right into my calling, into my passion. When I realized that, I was so tickled. It just really completed my relationship with my mom. So anyway, I learned a lot as a result of her experiences. And I applied for a job at one of the larger assisted living communities. I loved the job. I later became a salesperson for was called the CCRC, Community for Retirement Living, and which includes 4 levels of care: independent, assisted, memory support, and a skilled nursing facility, all in one building.
Wow, that's amazing. Isn't it interesting? I just feel like our moms, they do inspire us in so many ways. And even when we don't realize it's happening, they're influencing our future. So I'm really glad that your mom was able to touch you like that. What an amazing story. I know as a mom yourself, right, that you and I both share, it's not always easy being a mom out there. And both of us had the experience of raising our children as single moms, which is presents its really its own challenge. And I'm sure a lot of our watchers out there are experiencing that or contemplating going through that. Tell us a little bit about your experience and how that influenced you in your life.
Well, being a single mom was, on one hand, very difficult. On another hand, very, it was a lot of fun. I had one son, and we became very close. It was a very motivating thing in business to have the responsibility of a child to love and economically support and save for college and all that kind of stuff. And so I wanted to be self-employed so I could get to my son's school plays and swim meets and help out in the classroom. I did have support from my ex-husband, who was a model ex-husband, and my mom helped me too. So this little village raised my son, and I'm really glad I did. I was really grateful for all the other parties in my life and in my son's life.
That's amazing. And even when you're acting as a single mom, right, it takes a team to do that. Pretty admirable. I love your story of being an entrepreneur and being able to be there for the games and the events and not missing much, even though you're working hard and still supporting your family. That is such an inspiration. And I know a lot of us relate to that. And that's just a great, amazing story. So congrats on raising a wonderful adult child who's giving back out there. Great job, Millie. So tell me a little bit about what you like to do for fun when you're not working hard and changing everybody's life and transitioning them to the next step and taking care of your family. What do you like to do to have a good time?
Well, I'm an outdoor girl, so most of my fun activities have to do with sports or hiking, kayaking. I live right near a river and I kayak regularly. I love to camp, and so I just got home yesterday from Yosemite, which was a wonderful 3-day getaway. After being staying at home for the last year and a half, it was just wonderful to do that. But I also like biking, and I just took up pickleball, and I don't know why this is so popular, but it's become very popular. It's like tennis on a smaller court with like a ping pong paddle and a wiffle ball.
Wow, and that's fun. Do you meet up with friends to do that, or how does that work?
Well, a girlfriend of mine has been playing for a number of years, and she came to visit and she brought her paddles, and we found a court and we just had a ball. And I used to play tennis, so it was kind of easy for me to pick up, getting the ball over the net.
The next thing you knew, you were hooked, right? Well, Millie, you're such an amazing, well-rounded person, so active. And gosh, with this terrible year with COVID, just to live on the water and you can get out on the kayak and biking. I mean, you just have an amazing story. I love working with you. You're such a great person. Tell me about this. If you were to look back and just reflect for a little bit and think back to your 30-year-old self, right? When you're in the throes of it, right? That transition point and figuring out what you could do. If you were to go back and give your 30-year-old self some advice, what would you tell yourself?
I would say that shooting for doing what you love is really important. And I know sometimes it's hard to find what the best use of you and get a job in the field and get the training in the field that you feel like is your passion, your love. Sometimes just discovering passion is challenging because in your 20s and 30s, you're getting so many messages from the universe, your parents, your conscience, your educators, your whomever is influential. And it's hard to stick to that, but I think it's completely possible, and it's a worthy endeavor to pursue what you love. You'll never doubt yourself when you do that. I also recommend that if I were talking to my 30-year-old self, would be to learn to communicate responsibly so that your treasured relationships are always clean and healthy. Even though I got a divorce from my son's father, we kept our relationship clean, and it made for such a better experience for all three of us as we were raising our son together. And it just reduced the stress, the daily stress of working with somebody who's not present on the premises, so to speak. Anyway,
I love Millie. I love that you put your son first, and I feel like that's advice I'd be telling my 50-year-old self as well. Be a better communicator, treasure those relationships. I feel like those are words of wisdom that we can all live by. And I love that you're your authentic self. You found your passion. I think we all strive for that. But you really bring it full circle. You're so inspiring to me, and I know you're going to be inspiring to all of our guests out here. You're just incredible. So I want to thank you so much today, Millie, for joining us, being our first speaker, bearing with me on technical difficulties. Before I wrap up today, can you let everybody know how they can get in touch with you if they have a loved one who could use the transition services of Mom's New Pad? What's the best way to connect with you, Millie?
Thank you so much, Erin, for this time together. It's really a pleasure always to speak to you. And I want your listeners to know that I am a customer of Erin's and have never been so well supported by an insurance person in my entire life. So it's been a pleasure to work with you. Thank you. So to get in touch with me, you can visit my website at www.momsnewpad.com and schedule a free 1-hour consultation, or you can just call me at 415-987-8636. Again, I'll say it, 415-987-8636. Feel free to call me anytime. I love to talk about these, our parents.
Great. Thank you so much, Millie. And I just can't even tell you how grateful I am to have you on as my guest today. A wonderful human being doing wonderful work, taking care of people as they get older and transitioning them to a great situation. One of the things that Millie mentioned to me is just how important it is to get mom or dad in that place sooner versus later while they're still active and can enjoy the activities in this senior living. She inspires me so much every day to be thoughtful and mindful about taking care of our loved ones and making sure that they're in a situation where they're going to live their best life for the rest of their life. Millie is just an amazing inspiration. I don't know about you, but I feel incredibly inspired. If you're feeling inspired out there, please put it in the comments. Tell us how wonderful Millie is. Visit her at Mom's New Pad, call her directly, have that 1-hour free consultation and get to know her. If you're out there and thinking, hey, I'm interested in Medicare and I want to kind of have the same help that Millie had, where I'm fully supported on my healthcare needs, please don't hesitate to reach out to blackpointinsurance.com. Me or one of the agents on my team are going to proactively take an interest in you and make sure you have everything that you need. Also, if you're an agent who's looking to grow and wants to learn more about the Medicare business and work with a fantastic and dynamic team at Blackpoint Insurance, please once again visit our website, blackpointinsurance.com, send us a note, and we'll get in touch with you right away. Millie, you're amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today. For everybody out there, thanks for supporting our first Facebook Live episode. This is 65. I really appreciate everyone's support. Throw us a like. We'll be sharing this on YouTube and Facebook. Just so glad to have everybody's support. Thanks for sticking with us here. And Millie, have a great day. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.